Welcome, welcome, welcome to Brand Therapy Thursday. Come on in, say hi, let me know you're here. I am so super excited for today's session. Hey, Jacqueline, dance party, you know me. I'm so super excited for today's session. We're going to be talking about creating a compelling brand essence. Yes. Melody, I knew you would appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I've been working all week long on getting the new platform up, getting the new show intro. So I'm so glad you guys loved it. Hey, Brandy. And if you are with me on my Facebook business page, if you're with me on my personal page, if you're with me on YouTube, if you're with me on any of the groups that we're broadcasting live from, this is now, as Melody says, our new level up. We are reaching more people. We're taking up more space because that is what God calls us to do, to enlarge in the place of your territory. So that's what the team just did. We are now broadcasting from our Brand Therapy Thursday studio platform. So excited. Hey, Marcella. Hey, Mary. Oh my gosh. Love that you guys are here. So we're talking about compelling brand essence. And I wanted to pull up for everyone the definition that we're using for compelling: evoking interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way that keeps people in tune with you, that keeps people locked into you. Are you creating a compelling brand essence? Let me know in the chat if I were to ask you that, would you be able to say yes? Comment below. I'm pulling something else up. Comment below if you would rate your brand essence as compelling. And if you're not able to say that, then say that as well. But I just want to know where we are. So Jacqueline says yes, she is. She's building a compelling brand essence. How about for the rest of you? And there's no judgment on it. There's no, I say this all the time. I'm just looking for a piece of content here. I say this all the time. There's no judgment on any of this. This is where you are. Getting better, room to improve. That's from Brandy. Who else? So I see somebody that says still working on it. If you haven't given permission for StreamYard to show your comments, please do that, because that's how I'll actually be able to see who you are. So make sure you do that. Melody says, yes, I have a compelling brand and it's getting better all the time. Somebody says still working on it. And that's the key. You want to first know where you are on that scale and agree that you have room to improve. And what we're going to be focusing on today is how do you actually improve that? Because with so many distractions going on in terms of potential companies, potential brands that you could do business with, how does one brand stand out, illuminate, bring in more people than the other? It's that what they're showing, what they're sharing is compelling. It pulls you in. You can't help but get closer to it. Yes? Okay, so get your journals ready. In the meantime, I wanted to thank our sponsors. And so let me bring up our first brand that is sponsoring today. So who knows the Bling Boss? Anybody know the Bling Boss? Nobody? Bling Boss is Brandy Bishop. And Brandy is such a dear friend of mine now. We met through a networking group, and we connected. And immediately why I connected with her, because if you know anything about me, one of my core brand attributes is luxe. Anything luxe, anything zhuzh, I'm at the front of the line. And her company is Touchstone Crystals by Swarovski. And if you guys don't know anything about Brandy's company, all you need to know is Swarovski. Yeah, Marcella says that's our own Brandy Bishop. So the Bling Boss is sponsoring today's brand therapy show. I actually have an event with Brandy on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's just a fun sparkle party where you get the opportunity to get some amazing Swarovski crystal pieces, whether for yourself or to give as a gift. I'm so excited. That necklace, that key necklace that you see to the right, I've actually already purchased. That's my now proud owner. That same necklace at Tiffany's is like $1,500. And here you can get the Swarovski version for, I don't know, Brandy, like under $100. It's so cute on me. Yes, ma'am. It really, really is. So I want to invite you to come to the event. Brandy, if you want to drop the Zoom link in the comments so people can see it, of where they can register for our Sparkle Party. I just think from a client standpoint of how to create a compelling brand essence, one of the strategies is knowing how to give good gifts. Let me say that again. How you create a compelling brand essence is knowing how to give good gifts. Nobody wants just any old thing. Rather just send a card, rather make a phone call and say happy holidays, thank you so much for being a client, versus sending some tchotchke that's only going to be either tossed or regifted. Don't do it, because that damages your brand. First of all, let me just say, if anybody were to, think of the experience of opening a box, it's a present. You're like, ooh, the anticipation, the excitement, the wonder, your cells are like, and then you open it and it's a letdown. It's like, oh, you could tell this there was no thought to this. It wasn't really something that special. I can guarantee you that will never happen when any of your clients open a Touchstone crystal box. It's like every day is Christmas. So why not give a gift that says you care? Why not give a gift that goes a little bit more in terms of showing the value that you've placed on your clients? And let me just close by saying, every girl needs a little Swarovski in their life. So there you have it. Thank you, Brandy, for being our sponsor on the show today. We look forward to hosting so many people in this party. And if you can't make the party, the link is there. You can still shop and get amazing gifts. And there's a great promo. If you spend $100, you get, bonus money to buy more bling. It's all good. So thank you, my love, for that. I am super excited about it. I mean, they're so good. The thing that I love about the Swarovski brand is that, it's not glass, it's crystal. So it illuminates and it radiates when it is in the sunlight, and it's just brilliant. So if you haven't gotten a piece, definitely get one for yourself. You want to give a gift that really makes your brand stand out. Like, wow, that person really took some consideration and they value me. Be a good gift giver. Okay. And the the next sponsor, let me just find where I have theirs, is another another amazing person that I just love this woman to pieces. Some of you have already had the pleasure of meeting Jen Gottlieb and working with her because you signed up for the Beyond TV boot camp. So shout out to Melody for being in the boot camp. I saw your video. As I said, you're gonna rock it. For KP, Christina Pernfors, who's already in there, you know, people are like oohing and eyeing over her style. And guys, there are over 700 people in this boot camp. I just went in last night and connected with this guy's got like 700,000 followers on Instagram. He's in Jersey and he's like a foodie and he does all these really cool things. It's such gold when you connect with this community, right? How you connect with the people that you can do business with, that you can form partnerships with, is what you need to be doing for your brand. Partnerships, I'm going to do a session on that, is a huge way. I mean, so now I'm like Bessie sharing like, love for pasta with a man who has over 700,000 followers on his Instagram page. You need to be thinking about ways that your brand can be more compelling, and that's getting connected. So Jen and her significant other, Chris, they are the super connectors. They run the Super Connected Media. They are a uber publicity conglomerate. They are the real deal. If you want to have legitimate media opportunities, you need to go get registered for this boot camp. It starts December 10th. I will post the link below, but take my advice. I don't just come on here and tell you to buy stuff just to buy stuff, because why? I'm all about branding, and my brand reputation is gold to me. So I'm not going to try to just tell you to do something just because there's like an affiliate link attached to it. Absolutely not. When I tell you that this will transform, catapult, move your brand into the next stratosphere, I need you to hear me say that to you. Because not only do you get connected with, I mean, think about it. Who wants to get in front of 700 new people? Right? How I met Brenda Warren. I met Brenda Warren in the last challenge. Brenda Warren, as you guys know, who are an accelerator, is now a client of mine. How did I meet Zahara? From the challenge, right? Zahara has now become a really close friend of mine, and we are so connected on so many levels. It does so much for your business and for your brand. So you want to go out there, you want to learn how to build this compelling essence. And that's what they're going to teach you on the Beyond TV Bootcamp, because getting comfortable on camera, getting comfortable with how to clearly share your message. One of the things you'll learn is how to speak in sound bites, because you get on CNN or GMA or any show, you can't go long-winded and talk about everything under the sun. You have to be able to speak media speak, and that's what you learn. You get connected with producers from there was a producer from Good Morning America. I met the anchor for CNBC, the booker from Hallmark TV, which we're working to get me on the show next year to talk about personal branding, etc. It's all good. So get into the boot camp. It starts December 10th. If you haven't made the decision, I need you to make space for this. I almost missed this opportunity because I kept saying, oh, I'm busy, 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 busy. But I want you to ask yourself, what are you busy doing? Are you too busy to get in front of 700 plus new people? Are you too busy to make connections with people that could potentially become your clients, as is my experience? So there you have it. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all the sponsors. If you want to sponsor Brand Therapy Show, reach out to me, faith@faithjames.com. So let's get into compelling. And we talked about really being irresistible, really pulling people into you. So the first thing is, how are you showing up? When you show up, what are you saying about yourself? I was just doing a live in another group this morning, and I said, if you show up and you're like, yeah, I do hair and I'm a stylist at so and so, that's not, nobody's going to remember that. There are 30, 40 people in a room. Nobody's going to remember that. But if you say, hi, my name is Faith and balayage is my game, what? They're going to remember that. So what can you do? Let's get to work now. What is one thing that you can do that if you only have fewer than 30 seconds, that you could make a statement that compels people to want to know more? You can lead with a question. Everybody write that down. Lead with a question. So you're at a networking event, or you are on a networking Zoom, and it's your turn to do your 30-second. I want you to try this. Lead with a question. So for those of you who are live with me, I want you to, for some of you, I can't, it says Facebook user, I can't see your name. So sorry if I'm not addressing you personally, but for, who is that? I see you, Lady Boss. Just type your name so I can recognize who you are. And I'll send a note out so you guys know how to make sure that I can see who you are. Because I see Brandy, I see Marcella, I see Jacqueline. Hey, Renee, beautiful. Lead with a question. So we're going to do it right now. You're at a mastermind, you're at a networking event. It's your turn to get up. What question could you lead with? Go, post in the comments. And I just want to share, Brandy, in fact, did put the link for where you can shop. So if you can attend our Sparkle party, take a picture of that, screenshot right now, and go and check out the baubles. They are for the gods. So, so good. Randy says, thank you. Okay. So Renee, our beautiful Renee from Austria, is saying, did you know that your face is your business card? I love that. What does a question do? A question gets people in action. Now your brain is called to attention. You're not just sitting there because now the 40th person just went and you're like just waiting for your turn. And there you are on the phone, chit-chatting with your neighbor. Now a question has been asked. Your brain can't help but stand to attention because it's a problem-solving machine. This is what it lives for. Oh. Didn't know that. So I want you to think about your questions. Okay, so Brandy has, her question would be, how would I know if someone I'm talking to would be a good referral for you? And so what that does is immediately they're at attention. Because what did Brandy just do with this question? She turned the spotlight right on them. Because what do I tell you all the time? People are tuned into what? WIIFM. What's in it for me? So she's saying, how would I know if someone's a good referral for you? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that woman, she was the only one who wasn't like assaulting me with her business card. She literally came up to me and said, how can I help you? Be of service. Great question. Let's see, other questions. Melody says, does the thought of planning the next corporate event overwhelm you? Melody, I would even push that further. Does the thought of planning the next corporate event send you screaming into, like, what offices do they have there, or what closets, send you screaming into like the supply closet, because then you're putting a little humor, you're making light of it. We know from a corporate standpoint they do have, right, either the mailroom or they have like a supply closet, but you really want to touch on their pain points. So this is it. So overwhelm is too nice. Does it send you screaming into the supplies closet? Would be brilliant. But I love that question. Jacqueline says, who would think that a sewing machine would make a humble little girl into a woman who rocks her style? Who would have thought that a sewing machine would make a humble little girl into a woman who rocks her style? And then she can continue on from that point, talking about how she was humble and shy, and because she used her gifts and what she had in front of her, she has now turned that into this lifestyle brand that's all about living the best version of your life. Wonderful. Melody says, good tip. It paints a picture that transports you. Absolutely. So you always want to get people in action. You want to get people moving. You want to get people up, because again, remember, the people are only interested in their stuff. What's going on? Oh, I just got a call from the plumber. Like, the sink is leaking again. They've got their own stuff going on. You have to be compelling to pull them back from the brink, to pull them out of their phones, to pull them from their conversations. And you want to, as often as you can, you want to lead with really thought-provoking questions. Brandy could do, and she actually had that posted in our party group. What does the Queen of England, let's see, I forget another one. And Brandy, how does the question go? It was like, it was like 3 known celebrities and Swarovski Brandy, tell me how, because I love the way that you posted that in the group. It's like, what do they all have in common? And then so people, again, right? So she's making us think. It's like, the Queen of England, so-and-so, this celebrity, what is it? They all have Swarovski in common. And that's a great lead in. Now people are going to remember you, because why? You made them think. You made them think. Yeah. Brilliant. What does the Wizard of Oz, the Oscars, and Michael Jackson's glove all have in common? And you just pause for dramatic effect. And they're thinking. And then you go, why, Swarovski, of course, my dear. And then there you have an opportunity to bring people further in and talk about the history and the creation story of Swarovski, and why Swarovski is, the brand of choice when it comes to beautiful crystals that, people who have more money than they know what to do with and can buy anything that they want, that they chose Swarovski. Let me tell you about what's in this brand. Let me tell you about what makes these gems different. And like the one thing I said is that it's not glass, it sparkles. It blends well with your finer pieces. So for somebody like myself, who I love like my diamonds and baubles, you can blend your Swarovski and it's not going to look like, oh, you can tell that one's clearly like costume jewelry. It's very beautiful, very zhuzh. Okay, so you want to have a question or 2 or 3 ready to go. Remember what I always say? Build a stay ready brand so you never have to get ready. So when you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 questions, then you're all set up. Marcella says, have you ever not turned your camera on because you didn't feel camera confident in your image and presence? And so the same feedback that I gave to Melody, I'm going to give to you, Marcella. That's too nice. It's too calm. You want to get to the gut wrenching pain. You want to get into their pain. Have you ever not turned your camera on because you didn't feel pretty enough? You didn't feel good enough. You felt intimidated by everybody else in that session. Because those are the truths. The minute you connect to the human truths, you'll get the head nods. People go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, that was me last week. I just kept my camera down because blah, 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 blah. You're showing them that you understand. And when you're asking a question, just intuitively, but also physically, it's demonstrating that I want to engage with you. I want to have a conversation with you. I want this to be a two-way street. I want this to be a dialogue, not me just up here doing my 30-second, and then, quickly sitting down. Have you ever done that? It's like, because there are people who are going to say, yes, I know that pain. And then you tell your story. So love that. So you want to have one or two or three. So for those of you who gave me one question, next assignment, give me another question. Same thing now, next week, you're at a different event. We want to open up with questions. What's a question that you can lead with? Okay, this one, I'm not sure who this is. Do you get scared taking the next step to be consistent with your wellness goals? So what are they afraid of? I want you to dig deeper. I'm not sure who this is. Comment again and tell me your name so I can I can call you by name. But are you afraid to get on the scale because, right, that's going to show that you've been failing at your wellness goals? Do you see your favorite jeans hung in the back of the closet and you're afraid to try it on because you're worried you can't get the zipper up? Get into the pain, get into their heart, connect with them. Don't just say, because nobody, right? I want you to get real, consistent with your wellness goals, because you're going to be considered a failure again because you can't get your cholesterol under control. You can't get your blood sugar under control. You're afraid to look at it because it's going to tell you that you're pre-diabetic. Get into the real pain, because then people will know that you get it. Okay, Mary. Okay, great. Okay, so Renee has, are you aware what your face is doing while you're talking? Are you aware of what your face is doing while you're talking? I would actually say, are you aware of what your face is saying while you are talking? That's great. Just tweak that from doing to talking, because basically what we're saying is that your face is communicating something about you. You think you're just standing at the front of the room and talking about your business, but while you're doing that, your face is telling us a whole different story. Your face is telling us you really don't care about yourself that much. Your face is telling us you're not getting enough sleep, that you're tired, you're probably in a job that your face is telling your truth. What are you going to do about it? Would you like some help so that you and your face can be on the same page? Love it. All right, one more formality. Are you afraid that you don't have what it takes to outdo last year's holiday party event? So, are you afraid that you don't have what it takes to outdo? So, obviously, we're thinking that last year was like great, but is that really is everybody having like wow whiz bang events? Or are you afraid that you're going to get demoted this year because you can't put on a good corporate event? Are you afraid that you're going to get reassigned, fired because the feedback from last year's and the year before events have been subpar? Get to their pain. Get to their pain. So let me know, give me some hearts if this is landing, if you're understanding what I'm saying to you about this notion of building a compelling brand essence, because it's when you walk into the room that people should have this excitement, this anticipation, this kind of like, ooh, wow, I wonder what's going to be next. What has she got going on today? Marcella, do you have a closet jam full of clothes, items with tag on, nothing to wear that fits, that feels good, that looks amazing when you wear it? I mean, that's like a universal truth. Do you have a closet full of clothes, but every morning you stand there for 15 minutes and say, I have nothing I can wear? Love it. Great. You guys are getting this. This is great. If you can work on creating a library of questions that you just can mix and match, you have them on rotation as you go to different events, you will feel that your presence and your confidence is that much more elevated because you're ready to take the floor because you're like, ooh, now you're excited to like, ooh, I wonder if anybody's going to have, an answer for this. So I'll give you an example. I did this in West Palm. Oh, this is a good one, Brent. Are you worried that your gift is going to get regifted again? Yes. We do not want to be in that regifting category at all. Please be an awesome gift giver. And it doesn't have to be spendy, but it's the little things. The books I often talk about is called Giftology. It's the art of giving and what giving a gift does to make you stand out from other people in the category who everybody's sending like chocolate covered or what do you call those things? Caramel covered damn popcorns. Here you are sending over a bracelet from Swarovski. Who do you think they're going to remember? Yes, ma'am. I went to an event in West Palm a few years ago, and they had probably 80 people strong in that meeting. And so this is what I'm telling you, the universal truth. By the time your number comes around, your speaker number, you're 42, people are either like, oh, checked out because they've already gone and done their things. And the people behind you are like just waiting, bored, trying to just wait for their number to be called. What do? You must be compelling. You must make people focus on you. So I got up and I said, anybody who can tell me the show of, the lyrics I'm about to tell you, what show it's from, you will get a 30-minute brand strategy session with me. So already I'm giving gifts. They don't even know what my first question is. I've already promised them, you do this, you're getting something really good from me. So now I've got the entire room's attention. Because now, again, it's like competition, right? People listen, if you're like me, you'll love a good challenge. This accelerators can tell you. I'm like a challenge freak. Competition, I'm in it. Want to win it. Not that even like you need to think, but it gets your adrenaline pumping. It's like it makes you alive. So I said, anybody who can tell me the name of the show that is accompanied by these lyrics, you will win a 30-minute consult. So then I paused for dramatic effect, and then I started. Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Wouldn't you like to get away? And then, I did the whole thing. It takes every, your weighing if they sure would help a lot. Would you like to get away? And this one woman crossed the room. I mean, literally like jumped out of her seat. She like was flailing her hand. She's like, me, I got it. And it was the theme song for Cheers. And I said, I hand clapped and congratulated her. I said, yes. And just like the people, when you go to Cheers, everybody knows your name and they're oh so glad you came. My name is Faith James. I am the CEO and founder of I Do Brand, blah, blah, blah. I will help you build your brand to the point where everywhere you go, they're going to be glad you came and they will remember your name. Thank you. Round of applause. Do you see? So I want you to have these things worked out because right away, that's compelling stuff. No says, hi, my name is, we have this product and we do this and we do, people are bored. The people are bored. Nobody's listening to that. So the first place to build your compelling essence is when you open your mouth. What do people see when you open your mouth to speak? Somebody hashtag that. What do people see when you open your mouth to speak? Now, what they hear, what do they see? Do they see a confident, compelling persona? Do they see somebody who's comfortable in their shoes? Do they see somebody who's like taking up their space, standing grounded, not afraid of the light? Do they see somebody that they want to get closer to, that they want to know? They want to know, like, what are you eating for breakfast? Because you just showed up here like with theme songs ready to go. What do you got going on? I want to know. Second, so lead with questions, have a library of questions, push them, get them to the point of really people can feel their pain, like, ooh, yeah, she really got me there. So you can have rotation. Lead with a very, very pointed, relevant, thought-provoking question. That's how you're going to start to build a compelling brand essence. Second, how do you make people feel? So again, you're at an event. This is one of my pet peeves. I mean, don't do this. So because you're all about, oh my gosh, I'm going to get more people to buy my stuff. You're transaction based. You're like, I want to grab as many people as I can. Here's my card. Here's my link. Buy my stuff. Versus identifying one or two or three people that you want to build a connection with. You want to build a relationship. You're looking and seeing potential partnerships, maybe some collaboration. How do you do that? If you've registered for an event, oftentimes you will see who's invited. You can look up that person's social media. You can see what's going on. You can check their LinkedIn. Did they write an article? Did they do a post? When you see that person in the room and you go to them and say, hi, my name is Marcella. I just want to tell you, I've been following you for a year now. And I just want to tell you that article that you posted yesterday really, really, really spoke to me. I just love the way. Do you think that person is going to remember Marcella? Yes, yes, and yes. Because you took the time to first see what they were doing, what they were up to, and said, I'm an interested party. Because that behavior that you're demonstrating, that you took the time to go look up what they're doing on social media and then to come talk to them about it and have a conversation, is brilliance. Brilliance. Do that. So if you're registered for an event, if you can see the list of attendees, that's a winning strategy for you every single time. And you want to have a point of view that I am going to build connections with at least one or two or three. So here's the pet peeve now. So this is for the people who don't have strategy. They don't know how to build compelling strategy, communication strategy. So they hit the room, they look at the room, they're like, okay, I'm going to work the room from this side all the way around, and I'm going to go give my card to as many people as I can. So they've come to you. So you're there talking to them, and they're like doing a little small talk. You're doing the small talk back, and then look at me. This is what they're doing. Yeah, because they're looking at who's next, not focused on you, not all eyes on you. That's showing they're all about the transaction. They're all about, that is not compelling. That repels people away from you, that you can't even just take the time to have a meaningful dialogue, because people want to feel special. That even in a room that's buzzing, that I'm leaning in and I'm listening to the story that you're telling me of, you know, when you first moved to Florida and you knew nobody and you only have 3 people. And wow, Marcella, so your company's really grown in that. What did you really do? Like, what was your strategy? And then we're having a meaningful dialogue. I'm not acting like I'm interested in in Marcella's Florida story. But meanwhile, I'm like, oh, look, there's Renee. Shoot, there's Melody. I want to get Melody before she goes. Oh my God, there's Jacqueline. I need Jacqueline. Don't do it. Do not do it. Not only is it not compelling, it repels people from you. So if you can do a little bit of pre-work of who's going to be there, know some stuff about them. If you don't know if they're going to be there, but you should know, quite honestly, you should have like your top 20 list. So somebody hashtag top 20, because this is what I want us to do for 2021. You should have your top 20 list of top 20 people that I want my brand to be connected to. I want to get to know on a deeper level. I want to have discussions about potential collaboration. You want to have a list of top 20 people. So it could be, you know, I would love to get connected with the president of, you know, the local university, because I really think that if I can bring this idea of, you know, event planning and event design, that could be a really fun course curriculum. And I want to talk to them about potentially doing something like that. Maybe having it be extra credit, maybe having it be an internship. So you do an internship at Pro Event Planners and you get credits. I want to just talk to this university professor, this university president. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go find that university, you're going to find out who the president is, and you're going to follow that person on LinkedIn. You're going to follow the company, you're going to follow that person. And you're going to engage with their stuff. So if they're posting articles, if they're sharing things, you're going to be at the ready to read, have a retort, have an engaging, witty retort, and start to build little at a time. So that as and when, here's why this is important. And you know, even when you're talking about going on an interview, I mean, I love interviewing, because I can't even tell you, maybe once in my life I ever went for an advertising job and didn't get it. It's a rare time, because let me tell you, I go to school on that company, on the people there, on the campaigns, what they've done. So when I'm coming to this table, I'm coming with my own set of questions, because you ever heard people say, do you have any questions? You're like, no, I'm all set. No. So when you decided to take on such a large client as blah, 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 how did that impact the agency culture? Because I know that oftentimes when you have one client who's like 85% of the billing, sometimes that can create a little bit of a rift. Do you think I'm not getting that job? I'm getting that job every single time, because that shows a level of insight, a level of thinking more than just my role, a level of thinking agency and agency culture. I'm getting that job every single time. It's the same thing for you. Make a list of your top 20. Who do you want to connect with? somebody in your industry who's either literally in your industry or maybe they're like sidelined to your industry. So for example, Melody is in event planning, so is Ivory. Ivory has permanent botanical as part of her offering. Melody could say, you know what, I want to start to have some really like custom permanent botanicals, like centerpieces that I have for my brand. Let's talk about that. What would that look like? It's just a conversation, but it's showing a level of detail that says, I'm looking to grow and expand through collaboration, through partnerships, through coming together. It's not just buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Who do you want to know? Who do you want to connect with? It's so important. So one of the things that I'm doing next year, so January 4th, 2 p.m. Eastern, the next cycle of, and I don't know how many times I've run this program now, but it's awesome. If you've never done Social Branding Bootcamp, you must get enrolled. January 4th, 2 p.m., we kick off. In one of the 2-week blocks, we do LinkedIn. And I just got a list of 300 top influencers on LinkedIn that you want to get connected to. So when you're in the program, I'm giving you that curated list that I got as well. And I've already connected with at least 20 of them. I mean, people who are like big in the game, who, if you just show up and engage, your presence is that much more expanded, because when you're connected to somebody first person on LinkedIn, more people get to see your stuff. But that's Social Branding Bootcamp. If your social media looks like a hot mess, and you know what a hot mess means, it doesn't communicate all of the things that your brand is good at, what you say you're good at, you need to get enrolled in Social Branding Bootcamp. So hopefully the team will put the link up there for that soon. Okay, Renee says, tomorrow I'm on the radio. Do you have some advice? What advice do you want, Renee? What do you mean advice? Let me know in the comments. So that's the second thing, is your connections, right? You want to make your connections feel special. It's not mass. Like we want to just rush and get 50 people, 100 people. It doesn't work that way. You've got to be discerning. You've got to have a level of detail that says, I want each encounter to be special. I want each encounter to be remembered. You know, if you go to a good restaurant, you have a good meal. Like I remember I went to this restaurant in Key West, and the scallops were for the gods. I mean, oh, so good. You want it to be memorable and special. When you show up and you know stuff about the people that you want to do business with, or you know that they just had a mergers and acquisition with this corporation, and you know, one of the ideas that I have is for when two companies come together, how do you do sort of like, you know, like a corporate marriage party? You know, the two companies coming to get to know, we have this whole thing, you know, games or whatever, right? Melody can have that at the ready. So you want to be thinking about quality of your connections, the quality of a relationship, not just mass, because you're just going to be like a sea of sameness, like a dime a dozen, like you're like paparazzi, you're like stalker fans, as opposed to being somebody who says, you know what, I think that there's a potential connection here and I'd love to further explore that. And the last thing I want to cover off is basically how you show up. How do you communicate? What words are you using? Are you articulate in your delivery? Are you considered in your thoughts? Do you communicate expertise? You never want to be life of the party. Life of the party is good for games. It's good for gaffes. They're not taking you seriously. So be very careful. When I say compelling, I'm not talking about like, woo-hoo, look at me. That's good time Tino. I don't know if you guys saw my post yesterday about the time wasters, right? That's good time Tino. We don't do good time Tino. You want to be so resolute in your essence that when somebody is in your presence and they leave, they feel impacted, like, wow, that was such a beautiful, memorable moment experience. So I'll give you an example. I was on Corona TV Thanksgiving week last week. And this was the first time Joseph had done Corona TV, which, oh, by the way, let me just say, and I'm going to give this opportunity first to the accelerators, because obviously these are my paying clients. But if you want to get on Corona TV, I'm going to create a form for those of you who are interested, so we can have a conversation about it, and I will get you on that show. So let's accelerators, let's have a chat about that. But if you want to be on Corona TV, I can get you on. So this is my second time appearing. I'm on this show again, I think December 18th. But this was the first community show where Joseph had, 8 people on. And each person had 5 minutes to do whatever they wanted to do. Their rant, talk about what's on their mind. So many people were on talking about different things, from customer service to, family history, sustainability. It was wide and ranging. And mine was on gratitude, but gratitude in the sense that entitlement and American privilege and white privilege and all of that privilege and entitlement are taking away the beauty of what gratitude is. And I just shared from my heart, and I talked about the fact that, people are complaining about having to wait an hour in line because of whatever. And there are people who have to wait 5 hours just to get a turkey and a side. And that we have so much to be grateful for. And we can't sit in our 5,000 square foot home and clutch our pearls and say, oh my gosh, this thing's taking too long. So I talked about Anne Frank, which is always my best example that I love to use in that, because when you talk about social distancing and stay the hell inside your house, she had to do that for 2 years in a basement with her family, hiding from Nazi Germany. So if she can do that, we can stay home. We can social distance. We can do what we need to do to get this pandemic in hand. And so the entitlement that just rubs me such the wrong way. So I spoke about that. And I can't even tell you how many people that resonated with. I had one woman reach out to me on LinkedIn, don't know her from anywhere. She's in, I think, Toronto. She said, oh, I tuned into Joe's show and just, wow, that blew me away. Can I quote you? Can you send me a headshot? I want to, post this. And I was, okay. One of the panelists, Bruce, he is a giant in all things advertising and branding, worked in the industry for many, many moons. And he wrote me an email saying it was so great to meet you, be on the panel. And he said something to the effect of, the way that you so confidently stood in your personal positioning and something, and he's like, which you clearly take for granted, but I want you to know it's very, very hard and difficult to find and to do. And I would love to connect with you and see how I can be a help to you. And I sent him a note back saying, it was a pleasure. Good meeting you. Here's a link to my online scheduler. I said, you know what, like a boat on a lazy river, let's just get on and ride it and see where this takes us. There's no plan. There's no thing. I wasn't selling anything. He's not selling me anything. But my presence so compelled him to write me an email. My presence so compelled this woman in Toronto to say, I want to quote you, send me your headshot. Another person on Twitter is like, I was not familiar with Faith James before, but wow, what a profound and just spot on expression of gratitude. What points of views do you have that you can espouse, that you stand firmly on in the truth, that you can be passionate about? That's how you build a compelling presence. That you stand for something, or as the saying goes, you fall for anything. What are you standing for? It could be education for all. It could be safe housing for women, from whatever. It could be empowerment for women, right? A lot of us on here do a lot of work with women. It could be that, because listen, I didn't even consider, obviously it's taking a chance, but this is when you're powered up, when your brand is powered up, when you are powered up, you are unapologetic in your essence. You are respectful yet unapologetic. So when I literally said the words white privilege, I'm the only Black person on that panel, right? When I say American privilege, I'm the only immigrant sitting on that panel, but I did not care because the truth of what I was saying was so deeply resonating into the core of who I was that I spoke my truth. We should be more grateful. And listen, I'm right up there with the next person who's Jewish and like wants luxury and like attracting and so happy and grateful now all my millions are coming to me. I I'm not the anti-money person. Don't ever confuse that. I'm sure nobody does, but you still stand for something. For me, it will never be profits over people. Yes, give me my millions, but we're not going to treat people like crap on the way to get the millions. It's not going to happen. And so that just so resonated with so many people across, our sphere, that now this woman just quoted me. Now I have this conversation, with Bruce coming up, and who knows where that's going, all because my essence of my brand was powerfully anchored in something that I stand for. So, okay, Renee says she has to go. Renee, it was lovely having you. Beautiful. Send me an email about the radio thing. I'm not sure that I got to your question. Okay. And so Melody says empowering women and girls. Exactly. Melody could tell a story about, she has a corporate job. She's a really great job. She's excellent at her job, but she is building her empire of pro event planners. And why? Why put herself through this extra pain of time and sacrifice? Because she wants to be an example for her daughter. It's important for me to be an example for my daughter that she can see that she can be the CEO. And so if it means a little less sleep for me right now, if that means a little, less hours, watching my favorite shows, if it means a little less hours doing X, Y, and Z, then I'm doing that because I have to be that example for my daughter. I have to have her see living proof, evidence right beside her that she can be anything she wants to be. Do you think, Melody, if you said that, if you were somewhere and you said that, do you think people are not going to go like, oh my God, wow? So I want you guys to think about what are you standing for? What can your brand stand for as it relates to your business, your brand, your purpose, your meaning in life? So for those of you who are going to be watching replay, and if you're not yet currently a member of the Savvy Branders Tribe, because now we're streaming live, so everybody's seeing us everywhere. It's not just in the tribe anymore. I want you to go to Facebook and search for the Savvy Branders Tribe. Ask to be admitted. Just answer a couple, 2-3 questions, and the team will let you in. We do this every single week, and every day we are in there giving you just successful. I want people who are desirous of becoming a CEO of them. I want people who have a passion, a burning desire to live a different life, a life that is their choice of freedom and how they want to express that life to be able to do that. So with that, I'm going to wrap us. It's at the top of the hour. I hope you guys enjoyed the new platform. Hey, Patrick. I hope you guys enjoyed the new platform. We're going to be using this moving forward. It just gives me an opportunity to reach more entrepreneurs, more professionals, more business owners. And so that's what we're here to do. Again, as always, if you know anyone who needs some branding help, branding support, we have so many ways that we can connect. There is the Brand Accelerator online course. There is the Savvy Branders Tribe, of course, where we have free trainings. There is the Platinum Brand Experience, where I work with you one-on-one and build your brand for you. And as I mentioned, coming up in January, there is the Social Branding Bootcamp. So loads of branding opportunities, more exciting things coming in 2021 for the accelerators. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing an invite-only mastermind for some of the accelerators. So I'll get in the accelerator group now after this and explain what I mean by that, because it will be invitation only. But please do your level best to think about your brand. Think about how you can be compelling, because that's how you're going to attract your ideal people. That's how you're going to attract the people who resonate with what it is that you're saying. You're not just trying to please everybody, right? We're not trying to please everybody. We're just trying to be here to do the best work that we can for the people that, that need us. So any questions, post them in any of the threads. I will be around for the rest of the afternoon responding. Share this video with anybody that you think needs some help. Invite them to the tribe. And with that, I'm going to bid you all farewell. So long. Thank you guys so, so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. I don't take it for granted that you're here with me every week, every day that I show up. And so my eternal heartfelt gratitude to all of you. Go be awesome. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.